gonna continue on. And what do we want? We
Justice.
want justice for Brittany. Can I hear everybody say it? Justice for Brittany. Say it louder. Justice for Brittany. Say it like you mean it. Justice for Brittany. I love y'all. Love you too, baby. We gonna get it.
Say it again, man.
April 24th, 2022, 5 in the morning. A Ring doorbell camera records Brittany Booker at her front door. She hesitates. Behind her, a man's voice cuts through the silence. Go. 30 years old, nursing school graduate, mother to 6 children, all asleep in the rooms behind her. By 9 a.m., police find her body slumped in the driver's seat of her car on 13th and Villa. Less than 3 blocks from this doorway, a single gunshot wound to the head. But to understand why Brittany Booker walked out of her home that morning and never came back, we have to go back 60 days ago. Welcome to True Crime Unveiled 24/7. To my loyal subscribers, I pray your families remain safe and protected wherever they are. If you're new here, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Here we bring you the untold details of true crime cases, the facts others leave behind, and the truths that deserve to be heard. Today, we explore what happened to Brittany Booker, a woman who survived one attack only to face her killer again. This is a story about loyalty, about friendship, and about the price one woman paid for refusing to look the other way. Brittany Booker helped her friend escape an abusive relationship. In return, she became the target. On February 27, 2022, Terry Lee Jackson attacked Brittany and his ex-girlfriend with a hammer. Both women survived. Police issued a warrant for Jackson's arrest, charging him with attempted murder. But Terry Jackson vanished. For 60 days, he remained free. No public warning, no alerts to the community, just a warrant that couldn't find its man. During those 60 days, Brittany lived in fear. Her father would later say she was scared every day, running from her car to her house, locking the door behind her as fast as she could.
We probably wouldn't be here if he had took the case from the beginning. But we got him, Brett. We got him.
Larry has cleared the last things out of his daughter's home. Booker's 6 kids, who used to run around here, are now living with their grandmother.
I'm upset about a lot of things, but worse, but it's over. They got him. So let's see what system we're gonna do.
Yeah.
Let's hope they don't film me on that part.
Larry's next move is something he's good at, something Brittany loved. He plans to throw monthly barbecues at a local park for the community to honor Brittany's memory. Reporting in Racine, Bruce Harrison, TMJ4 News.
On April 24th, Terry Jackson came back. After Brittany's murder, 3 women, Diamond Hood, Alicia Sykes, and Carmelita Walker, were arrested for harboring and aiding a felon. They faced up to 10 years in prison for helping Jackson hide. When U.S. Marshals finally captured Jackson in Chicago, he confessed. He was charged with 23 felonies. His bond was set at $10 million. But Brittany Booker's 6 children will never see their mother again.
The Racine mother of 6.
And new today, a private donor has increased the reward amount to $5,000 for any information on where Terry Jackson might be. Racine police say Jackson shot and killed Brittany Booker. Her body was found 2 weeks ago. If you know where Jackson is, you can call any of the numbers on your screen.
So I want to ask you something. Have you ever helped someone escape danger? Did you stop to consider the risk to yourself? Drop your answer in the comments, because what happened to Brittany could happen to anyone. Brittany Booker was 30 years old when she died, but before April 24th, 2022, she was building something. She had just graduated from nursing school, a milestone her father, Leonard Larry, celebrated with deep pride. 6 children depended on her. Every morning, she got them ready for school. Every evening, she came home to them. Her life was structured around their needs, their futures. Leonard would later describe his daughter as someone who showed up for her kids, for her friends, for anyone who needed her. That included the woman who would bring Terry Jackson into her life. The 2 women were close enough that when that friend needed help, when she finally decided to leave Terry Jackson, Brittany didn't hesitate. She didn't calculate the risk. She didn't weigh her own safety against her loyalty. She just said yes. Brittany Booker was the type of person who couldn't turn her back on someone in need. That quality made her a good friend, a devoted mother, a woman her father was proud of. It also made her vulnerable. On February 27th, when her friend asked Brittany to come with her to retrieve belongings from the apartment she'd shared with Terry Jackson, Brittany agreed. She even brought her 2-year-old daughter along. Because in her mind, this wasn't dangerous. Terry had left. He'd moved to Illinois. The relationship was over. She had no reason to think he'd be there. She had no reason to think he was watching. Terry Lee Jackson was 42 years old. His criminal record stretched back to 1998, 24 years of documented violence, drugs, battery, assault. Between 2002 and 2015, he cycled in and out of jail, released, arrested, released again. By 2022, he was out on bond for substance charges, free to move, free to act, free to escalate. His relationship with his girlfriend was known to those close to her. The control, the threats, the violence that happened behind closed doors where no one else could see. But to outsiders, Terry Jackson could appear calm, reasonable, just another man dealing with his problems. That's the mask abusers wear. They save their rage for private moments, for people who can't escape, for women who know that leaving might be the most dangerous thing they'll ever do. In mid-February 2022, Terry's girlfriend finally left him. She made a choice, one that many victims of abuse make when they're trying to survive. She told him she wouldn't press charges if he moved to Illinois. He agreed. He packed his things, he left Wisconsin, and for a few days it seemed like the violence was over. But on February 20th, she drove to Chicago to pick him up. Terry had a court date in Racine on the 22nd. She thought she was helping him handle his legal issues. She thought this was safe. On the drive back to Wisconsin that night, Terry pulled over behind Gateway Technical College. Then he attacked her. The assault lasted 3 hours. According to the criminal complaint, Terry choked her. He threatened her with a box cutter, and he told her exactly what would happen if she reported him. "If you tell the police," he said, "I will kill you." The next day, February 21st, she went to the hospital. Medical staff saw her injuries and immediately contacted the police. She gave them a full statement. She told them everything Terry had done. A warrant was issued charging Terry Jackson with attempted murder. But by the time that warrant was filed, Terry Jackson was already gone. So here's my question for you. Terry Jackson had been arrested for violence since 1998. He'd cycled through the system for decades. He was out on bond when he committed attempted murder. Why do you think the system kept releasing him? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this pattern didn't start in February 2022. It had been building for 24 years. February 21st, 2022. A woman sits in a hospital room. Her neck shows bruising from strangulation. The medical staff treating her don't ask if she wants to file a report. They contact the police themselves. She tells them everything. The 3-hour attack, the box cutter. Terry Jackson's exact words, "If you report me, I'll kill you." The police take her statement. They photograph her injuries. They file the report. Terry Jackson is not arrested. A warrant is issued, charging him with attempted murder. But Terry Jackson isn't at his last known address. He isn't with family. He isn't anywhere the police look. He's vanished. February 21st becomes February 22nd. His court date in Racine, the reason his ex-girlfriend drove to Chicago to pick him up in the first place, comes and goes. Terry doesn't appear. February 23rd, 24th, 25th, 26th. 6 days pass. Where is Terry Jackson? His ex-girlfriend assumes he went back to Illinois. That's where he'd agreed to go when she first left him. That's where he was supposed to stay. Maybe she thinks he realized the police were looking for him. Maybe he ran. Maybe this time he's really gone. February 27th, 2022. 6 days after the hospital visit. 6 days since Terry Jackson disappeared. His ex-girlfriend makes a decision. She needs to get her belongings from the apartment she used to share with Terry. Her things are still there. Clothes, personal items, pieces of the life she's trying to leave behind. But she doesn't go alone. She calls Brittany Booker. Why Brittany? Because Brittany was the friend who showed up. The one you could count on. The one who wouldn't say no when you needed help. Brittany agrees to come. She brings her 2-year-old daughter with her. Think about that for a moment. Brittany Booker brings her toddler to help her friend move out of an apartment once shared with a man who, just 6 days earlier, strangled his girlfriend and threatened to kill her. Why would she do that? Because she didn't know Terry would be there. None of them did. He'd left. He was supposed to be in Illinois. The apartment should have been empty. But here's what we know now, what we didn't know then. Terry Jackson wasn't in Illinois. For 6 days, while police searched for him, while his ex-girlfriend assumed he'd fled the state, while Brittany Booker went about her life, getting her 6 children to school and coming home to them each night, Terry Jackson was in Racine. Here's what I want you to think about. Terry Jackson had just committed attempted murder. This time with 2 witnesses, this time with evidence. This time, there was no question about what he'd done. Police charged him with 2 counts of attempted intentional homicide. But Terry Jackson was still free. Here's what doesn't happen. No public warning. No alert to the Racine community that a man who just attacked 2 women with a hammer, one of them holding a toddler, is at large. Leonard Larry would later tell reporters about his daughter's life after February 27th. She was scared every day. Brittany's routine changed. When she came home, from running errands, from taking her kids to school, from just being out in the world, she would pull into her driveway and run. From her car to her front door. She'd unlock it as fast as she could, slip inside, and lock it behind her. Every single day. Because Terry Jackson was still out there, and Terry Jackson knew where she lived. February became March. March became April. 57 days passed. Police couldn't find him. No arrests, no sightings, no updates for Brittany or the community. Just fear. April 24th, 2022, 5 a.m. Brittany's Ring doorbell camera activates. The footage shows her standing at her front door. She pauses, just for a moment. Behind her, a man's voice. Go. Terry Jackson had broken into her home. He'd walked through her house while her 6 children slept in their beds. He'd entered her bedroom, and he forced her to leave with him. GPS data recovered later would show they drove around Racine for hours. Where were they going? What was he saying to her? What was Brittany thinking as she sat in that car, knowing her children were home alone, knowing this man had already tried to kill her once? At some point during those hours, Terry Jackson pulled over near 13th and Villa. Less than 3 blocks from Brittany's home. He shot her once. In the head, Booker was found slumped in the driver's seat of her car. 30 years old, mother of 6, nursing school graduate. Dead. Here's my question for you, and I really want you to think about this before you answer in the comments. After the hammer attack on February 27th, should police have issued a public warning about Terry Jackson? Should the community have been told that a man charged with 2 counts of attempted intentional homicide was at large? Would Brittany Booker still be alive if people knew to watch for him? If neighbors had been warned? If someone, anyone, had seen him near her house and called 911? Or was Brittany's fate sealed the moment she agreed to help her friend? Drop your answer below, because what happened next raises even more questions about who knew where Terry Jackson was hiding and who helped him stay hidden. Leonard Larry sits in front of a screen, watching the Ring doorbell footage. His daughter, standing at her own front door at 5 in the morning. The pause, the voice behind her. Go. This is the last time Leonard will see his daughter alive. April 24th, 2022. Brittany Booker's body is discovered near 13th and Villa. The Racine Police Department immediately escalates the case. The U.S. Marshals take over the manhunt. Crime Stoppers posts a reward, $2,000 for information leading to Terry Jackson's arrest. That number will increase as the days pass and Jackson remains at large. Police release his photo to the public. Finally, after the hammer attack in February, after 60 days of searching, after Brittany's murder, the community sees his face. Racine responds. Community members gather. They hold signs. They chant. They demand action. Justice for Brittany Booker. The killing of innocent people in our community will not be tolerated. Local news stations broadcast Jackson's photo repeatedly. His face is everywhere now. Gas stations, convenience stores, social media feeds. But Terry Jackson doesn't surface. Days pass, then a week, then 2 weeks. The question everyone keeps asking, the question that haunts this entire case, is simple. How? How does a man wanted for 2 counts of attempted intentional homicide evade police for 60 days? How does he break into Brittany Booker's home, force her into a car, kill her, and vanish again? How does someone that wanted stay hidden? The answer, investigators would discover, is that Terry Jackson wasn't hiding alone. While U.S. Marshals searched for Terry Jackson, they were also searching for answers. Where was he sleeping? Who was feeding him? Who knew where he was? The investigation led them to 3 women: Diamond M. Hood, 24 years old; Alicia Sykes, 30 years old; Carmelita Walker, 34 years old. All 3 were arrested and charged with harboring and aiding a felon, a crime that carries up to 10 years in prison. According to police, these women helped Terry Jackson evade capture. They knew he was wanted. They knew what he'd done, and they helped him run anyway. But here's where the story gets complicated. Were these women accomplices? Did they voluntarily help a killer hide? Or were they victims too, trapped by fear, manipulation, or threats? We don't know the full answer. The details of their involvement haven't been made public, but what we do know is this. For nearly a month after Brittany Booker's murder, Terry Jackson remained free because people, multiple people, made the choice to protect him instead of turning him in. April 24th, Brittany is killed. May 22nd, U.S. Marshals arrest Terry Jackson in Chicago, Illinois. 28 days. That's how long it took to find him after the murder. During questioning, Terry Jackson confessed. He admitted to breaking into Brittany's home. He admitted to forcing her to leave. He admitted to killing her. Police Chief Maurice Robinson confirmed the confession to reporters. 23 felonies were filed against Terry Jackson, including first-degree intentional homicide for Brittany Booker's murder. His bond was set at $10 million. So here's what I want to know from you, and be honest in the comments. What would make you hide someone wanted for murder? Fear? Are you scared of what they'll do to you if you don't help? Loyalty? Do you believe they didn't really do it? Or that they had a reason? Or something else entirely? Because 3 women made that choice. 3 women looked at Terry Jackson, a man with a violent criminal history stretching back to 1998, a man charged with attempted murder twice, a man who killed a 30-year-old mother of 6 and decided to help him. Diamond Hood, Alicia Sykes, Carmelita Walker. Were they afraid of him? Were they manipulated? Or were they complicit? Drop your answer below. Because understanding why people protect abusers, why they help killers hide, is the only way we stop this from happening again. May 22nd, 2022. Terry Jackson is in custody. The confession is recorded. The evidence is overwhelming. 23 felonies are filed against him. At the top of that list, first-degree intentional homicide for the murder of Brittany Booker. His bond is set at $10 million. The wheels of justice begin to turn. But they turn slowly. April 24th, 2022, Brittany Booker is murdered. January 2026, Terry Jackson enters a guilty plea. 3 years and 9 months. That's how long Brittany's 6 children waited for the man who killed their mother to admit what he did. Terry Jackson's sentencing is scheduled for March 13th, 2026. Nearly 4 years after Brittany's death. Police Chief Maurice Robinson addressed the media after Jackson's arrest, confirming the confession and the charges. But no statement from law enforcement can answer the questions that haunt this case. Why wasn't there a public warning after the February hammer attack? Why was Terry Jackson, a man with a violent record dating back to 1998, out on bond for substance charges when he committed attempted murder? Why did it take 60 days to find him after the first attack and another 28 days after he killed Brittany? The system failed Brittany Booker, not once, multiple times, and now 6 children are growing up without their mother. Brittany Booker graduated from nursing school. She earned that degree to save lives, to help people, to build a future for her 6 children. She never got the chance to use it. 6 children lost their mother. The oldest will remember her. The youngest, Brittany's 2-year-old daughter, the one she held during the hammer attack, may not. The friend Brittany died protecting, the woman who left Terry Jackson and asked Brittany to help her move out, she survived both attacks. Where is she now? That answer isn't public, and maybe that's for the best, because the guilt of survival, knowing someone died helping you, is a weight no one should carry alone. The system knew he was dangerous, The system had documented his violence for 24 years. The system issued warrants. But the system didn't protect Brittany Booker. And here's the question that should keep us all awake at night. How many Brittany's are out there right now? How many women are helping friends escape abusive relationships, unaware they're painting targets on their backs? How many people are living in fear while someone wanted for violence walks free? What changed in Racine after Brittany's death? Were policies reformed? Are public warnings now mandatory when domestic abusers evade arrest? I don't have those answers. But if you're from Racine, if you know what's changed or what hasn't, drop it in the comments. Because Brittany's story shouldn't end with her death. It should spark the changes that save the next person. Brittany Booker died doing what she'd always done, showing up for someone who needed her. She was loyal. She was protective. She was the friend you called when you had nowhere else to turn. But good intentions couldn't protect her from a system that failed to act. From a man with a 24-year history of violence who was released again and again. From a predator who refused to let go. So I want to leave you with 3 questions. Think about them. Answer honestly in the comments. Should there be mandatory public warnings when domestic abusers evade arrest? Should communities be told when someone charged with attempted murder is at large? What responsibility do we have when we know someone is in danger? If your friend is afraid, if someone you know is being threatened, what do you do? And finally, how do we honor Brittany's memory beyond just remembering her story? How do we make sure her death means something? Drop your thoughts below. If this story moved you, share it. Subscribe for more untold true crime stories where we bring you the details others leave behind. Next week, we examine another case where helping someone meant dying. Another person who said yes when someone needed them. Another family left with questions the system never answered. Stay safe out there, and if you see something, say something, because silence protects abusers. And Brittany Booker deserved better than silence.